So give me a quick run through, man. I didn't look at this charts. Yeah, do you have it up?
Shit. A lot more inventory. Last month, there were only 1,600 active houses out there. There's 2,100.
Nice.
Continue natural progression as we've seen in years past. Although this April is up over last April. You see, last April was actually pretty flat to March. And then things started to really pick up in May. We're already off to the races here.
Yeah.
Over 2,000 houses were sold. Current active inventory is just about 2,100. So that's like what, 1 month of supply. But the home sales is up 10% month over month. It's up 11% year over year. So things are starting to cook.
Yeah, it looks like on the chart we actually took a dip last month or last year, this month, right? So
Yeah,
that's
a little bit.
significant. That's different. Yeah.
And then the other thing is, as far as the list price versus sales price, you can see that there was that convergence of those two lines right around this time last year, March, April. Pretty similar kind of this year where those lines started to move closer together. Now they're right on top of each other for April.
Okay.
And so the other notable is, of course, that the average sales price is up year over year, $24,000, which is 7%, which is pretty significant.
Wild.
And it's up just 2% month over month, which you can see how big of a leap there was this year from February to March, and then we went up more from there. So that's interesting. Yeah. The donut chart looks like things are leveling out there in terms of above and below asking. And then days on market, you can see similar to last year, our average days is still higher, but our median days is real close. And again, you can see the trend line, up and then down. We're down from March and down from the peak, which was in, January, February.
For sure. Okay, so real quick, and then sales price reduction obviously is less again, as expected. All these are trailing similar or identical to last year, right?
Yeah, directionally they're like pretty much.
Okay, and that's even with 30-year fixed. When you pulled that was 7.22. Wow. Okay, give me your prediction on, according to these data sets, our peak is going to be when? July? Let me see here. July. If we follow the same trend as last year.
Yeah, the July-August
July
time frame.
You think August?
Well, let me just look. I've got it right here.
Yeah, okay.
So August was original sold price, 390. Yeah, August was the peak, right about 390. July was 381.
So June looks like the peak of volume, though, right?
Oh, yeah, June was the peak of volume.
But sales price August is the peak. Okay, I see it.
August wasn't too far off though from where June was. I think what happens is like you get everybody going and everybody's ready to go, and then all of a sudden people start buying up all the stuff, and then maybe inventory starts to shrink a little bit, and you still have all these people who want to get a thing. I wonder if that's a thing.
For sure. That's universal. And then, you feel like you're going to be ready to go in June, and comes time to list, and you got a to-do list, right? That's universal too. It's not a rare occurrence that happens. So yeah, and August is kind of last chance. How much does August to September drop? Volume, it's a lot. Pricing, it's a lot.
It was a big drop in price.
Okay.
18,000.
Well, I know it's average and it's case by case, but basically,
June was actually higher than August last year, 392, and May was the same as August. So I mean, that whole summer, man, that's all really close. Sorry,
no, it's good. That's important.
389 in May, 392 in June. It dipped to 381 in July, and then back up to 389, and then boom, down to 371.
Okay.
September.
So I know you don't have these numbers ready. I wonder if this is, I would guess this is the trend for always. That's just how it goes, right? Seasonality wise. So they're earlier in the summer before it gets weirdly hot, and then August is last chance to get in before the school starts.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. Okay, so that's our video. Nice work.
Every month so far this year has been up about 25,000 over last year.
What? Say that again.
Oh, sorry. Those are list prices.
But
I'm just
still,
looking
sales
at, like,
prices aren't far behind.
yeah, like, so January of this year, sold price was 356. January of last year, 325. February last year, 340. February of this year, 360. That's 20,000.
Wow.
March of last year was 355. This was 379. So that's what, 24. And then now we're talking 363 April of last year to 387. Yeah, that's about 24,000. So we're up year over year 20 to 25,000 per month in terms of the sales price.
All around.
that
One
would
of the highest
mean-
prices in the summer, right?
So that would mean if you took our peak in the summer and added 25,000 to it, you're talking 415,000 would be our average sales price at the peak in the summer.
Well, so great news for sellers. Obviously, you're doing great, but you got to buy something too, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's waiting. Interest rates are high. The more news that breaks, the less inclined I am to think that we're going to get more rate cuts this year. We're going to get something. I feel like they have to do something, but I don't think they're in a hurry to cut.
Well, I don't think they can now, right? Because inflation's still been bad.
Inflation's still high. What was it? Jobs are starting to weaken. Jobs report came out; those are weaker than before.
Which is what they want, right? They want.
Well, that's what they wanted
weaken
originally, to control inflation. The only reason they were after jobs is for inflation.
right? And what
If
they're
you get
seeing
big
is
jobs and inflation. That's not a good combo. It's actually higher. It's higher interest rates. What would we do if we bumped up? If the news broke that we started to bump up, that would be
weird.
craziness. And I wonder if all these people waiting on the sidelines would jump in. Finally realizing, because sometimes it's just time to move. All these
I think
numbers.
that's got to
that
be
you're
part of
seeing-
what's happening now, because things dipped down year over year at one point, right? I think that
In the
gave
winter.
people time to, like, get a bigger down payment, or obviously if they were in anything, it was gaining a lot of value.
Yep.
So now it's a little less painful to jump into the next thing. You know what I mean? Because now you can just put more equity.
Yeah, but it's still, assuming you're moving up, that's a bigger
Oh, yeah.
gain on the other side.
That's true.
But sometimes, it's time. Combining households, marriage, divorce, new kids, real adult jobs, right? Real money, transfers. There's real reasons to move. There's always going to be. So I guess the lesson here is it's nice to own. I feel real bad for first timers and people trying to get into the market. It's real tough. And especially if you waited, it's way worse than before. And I don't see this ending anytime soon. Even if the rates go up, which is not likely. Okay, I'm not predicting that. But if the rates do go up, inventory is going to get worse. So supply and demand curve is going to shift even more. Price is going to go up even more, right? And you got higher rates. So rates have to come down. They have to come down slowly. They come down fast. Everybody that's been waiting is going to come out, and those prices are going to spike through the roof, right? Same thing, supply and demand. We will see more inventory, but it's just going to be a run on the market. It's a great time to own, and for the first timers or people that are considering, I feel like last year was a better time to buy than this year, even though the rates were creeping up. I think that's going to be the case for a few more years, at least a couple more years, right? Until something drastic happens to the economy. We'll see.